happen, and I'm always optimistic. I'm always believing the impossible is possible. Two neighborhoods that got a lot of history is possible. We talked about this in the last interview. The 60s and the Eight Trays was that Florence, on Crenshaw and Slauson.
That wasn't a real thing though. That's fake though. They don't feel that way today.
Well, it depends on who you speak to. If you speak to Lil Sodi's still pushing it. You know, he ain't trying to push no static.
That's Lil Sodi. You know how deep Eight Tray Gangster is?
And they had some OGs and some youngsters. They had Sodi's age. They had his G's there.
Listen. The young Eight Trays that was there. I bet you in they vocabulary they dissing them dudes today. Like you know the word to diss the neighborhoods. It wasn't real. That's why I wouldn't have participated in nothing like that if you ain't trying to be genuine. Anything that's real like that wouldn't be showcased. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't no social media around that Harlem and 40s when they became cool again. They pieced it up, like, you know what I mean? And that was that. I wouldn't have went on Slauson and Crenshaw and participated in that. And then even then, if I would have brung like a gang of my little homies with me, and now I didn't exploited they faces to people that ain't never seen them before. What if you ain't never seen them before? Oh yeah. So now you catch them a week later when you ain't feeling like kumbayaing again, and oh, there go a boy from Families, and you catch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so I knew it wasn't genuine. Like today, Eight Tray Gangster and Rollin 60s, they still beef. You know what I mean? If it's a peace thing, I think you should start with the Crip on Crip beefs. That'd be more easier to fix, and blood on blood beefs. Like, you know what I mean? Cause all these like especially Bloods, if you a Blood, you ones got along with this hood before, so y'all got some kind of love there. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's 8-9 Families and Bebop, try to fix that first, or Villain and Pueblos. You know what I mean? Or Treetop and Fruittown. Like, and that's the thing with me. Like, cause I'm Slim 400. Back to him, YG, my boy, they from Treetop. I hang with them, and then I got good peoples from Fruittown, Piru. And like, you know about that, me boxed in, like I gotta pick a side, you know what I mean? So like, I fix the easy fixes. I'm not saying they easy, it's easier than Inglewood Families and Rollin 60s. That's like almost mission impossible. You know what I mean?
Well, some of these smaller ones that you talk about, I think you're right, that anything that we can address now. But that's when voices like you can come in, because people on the Treetop and the Fruittown side.
Right.
Even though you ain't from Compton, it doesn't mean you can't play a role.
Right, but I got friends on both sides. It's still love there, even though it's bloodshed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we had the Pueblos and the villains come to the building a couple times. So hopefully, I don't know if they haven't officially stamped it yet. But that's coming.
I think Villain and Pueblos is a difficult one, and no. Mob and Leuders Park is difficult. Those are the difficult ones. Everybody else like Inglewood Family, Different Lane. That's that ain't nothing. That's nothing. That time could fix that. It's fixed basically. You know what I mean? But like you gotta work on the fixable shit, like the easy, then go like build up to that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. I think whatever's possible that's on the table, definitely addressing. I know the mob and the looters, like they going at it right now. That's why you can't do nothing. That'd probably be the hardest blood on blood or power on power beef. The fix. The mobs and the looters would probably be the hardest. Then after them, then Pueblo and the Villain. Yeah, but at least with all the other ones, it's kind of died down a little bit.
Right.
So it's created a little bit of space for at least a conversation.
Right.
So, how do you feel like, being a part of this and playing a role in some of this, whatever you want to call it, peace treaty, truces, or whatever term you want to use?
See, it felt cool if I could help or mend some relationships, especially if it's genuine. You know what I mean? It felt cool. After being on the other side of the fence and being opposing it and kicking off shit and starting shit. And at first the calls is getting made on me. Like, hey, they calling my dad. Hey, man, Munchie and your son, you know what I mean? So, like, it felt cool, like, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, you mentioned your dad. You actually kind of grew up on the east side, would you say? Even though you're from Inglewood, you grew up a little bit on the east side?
No. I was born and raised in Inglewood, but my whole family, they from Family Swans. You know what I mean? So I was raised by all East Siders, but I grew up in Inglewood. Like my dad, my uncles, my cousins, everybody like they come from over that way. Like me and my brother Crenshaw Mafia. Like we was raised in Inglewood, so we became a part of, you know what I'm saying, Inglewood gangs.
And then what did your father? I guess your father was from neighborhood 8-9 Swan, and now he's got a son from Inglewood Family. What did he feel or say or think, or did you even guys have this conversation when you became an Inglewood Family?
No, my dad early on he didn't want me to he didn't want me to be a part of no gangs or nothing like that, but like shit, I was raised around that shit. Like when I grew up in Inglewood, I never been around nobody that said cuz in person. I only heard it on the radio when I heard Snoop Dogg or something rapping. So when I moved from Inglewood, my mom, her house ended up foreclosing. We had to move to Compton, and I went to a school in Compton where it was like Bloods and Crips. That's the first time I ever heard cuz in person. Like that was weird to me. I'm like that shit crazy, it was foreign. But before that, I only heard cuz Dog Pound Gangster Crip, like on the radio or something. You know what I mean? Everybody I was around was Bloods, like everybody. I go outside, it was Bloods. My uncles, my dad, my brother. You know what I mean? Like everything, that was my world. It was regular.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.